Sarah Palin is firing up the Tea Party faithful in Boston, adding some major star power to a huge rally ahead of tomorrow's Tax Day protest in our nation's capital, and taking Washington to task for how it is spending your money. So let's have a little debate on the Palin effect. Joining us now, Rick Tyler, the founding director for Renewing American Leadership, and Simon Rosenberg, president of the National Democratic Network. Thanks to both of you for being here. Rick, a lot of people said that the Tea Party phenomenon was sort of a flash in the pan. It was an event of last summer that would dissipate. Here we are a year later, and this thing is still going strong. Why?
Well, I think there was good reason to think that it would dissipate because historically these independent movements are episodic. However, I think the Tea Party has made a significant turn. They've gone from protest, which is essentially being in the bleachers cheering on or booing the players on the field, to participation, that is displacing players on the field by putting on a jersey and getting in the game. And so I think the Tea Party is here to stay because they're actually engaging in the political process, which is a very good sign.
Well, and they sure cheered on Sarah Palin when she made that appearance just a short time ago, Simon. Is she a political force to be reckoned with?
Clearly. I mean, she's a leading national figure in the Republican Party and the conservative movement. But I don't think she's going to end up being president of the United States. I mean, if you look at the polling that came out today from CNN, she's actually doing the worst of any leading Republican candidate in the country against Barack Obama in various head-to-heads that were put forward. And so I think what's happening with Sarah Palin is she's becoming a spirited leader of a wing of the Republican Party, but she's not faring very well with the American people overall.
Well, and she's been fairly coy about whether she wants to run for president, but there's nothing wrong with being that kind of political cheerleader, is there?
Agreed. And I think, listen, I also think it's great that these average citizens are finding their political voice through the Tea Party movement. And I think that, just to pick up on something Tyler said, the question will be, does it really become something more than an angry protest? Does it really become something that is offering a constructive vision for the future for the country? That will be the test of whether the Tea Party movement really becomes something that's sustainable. So far, I'm not so sure that they've made it there yet.
Well, what's your take on that, Rick? I mean, they seem to be, advocating smaller government and lower taxes.
Well, first of all, I don't accept the characterization that they're angry people. I think they're people, mostly families, most of them have children, that they're angry at their government. No different than the original Tea Partiers were angry at the king because of the government. The government won't listen. They're trying to say, listen to us. We don't want this health care bill. We don't want confiscatory tax rates. We don't want a deficit that we can not only pay, our children will not be able to pay. And they're saying, listen to us. Now they've decided, again, to get away from the protest business and more in the participation business. They're recruiting candidates. They're training candidates. They're training themselves. They're getting involved and active in the political process. And I think the politicians will do very wisely, as Sarah Palin has done, to recognize that this is a parade, it's a movement, it's a march, they're on the move, and to jump in front of them.
Yeah, Simon, aren't they saying, we want government of the people, by the people, for the people?
Look, I think Americans have been very angry in this last decade. I mean, the last government oversaw almost 10 years of no income growth in the United States, led us to the Great Recession and a financial collapse.
I've seen some figures that dispute that, Simon. That income growth number.
No. Well, their median income is lower today than it was 10 years ago. And over the 8 years of the Bush presidency, median income dropped by more than $1,000 for the typical family, including the people in the Tea Party movement. And so there's been tremendous anger about the economic performance of the United States in the electorate for many, many years. I think that this administration inherited an extraordinary set of challenges. They've done pretty well. They haven't done everything they need to do. The country shouldn't be satisfied with where we are. But on the basic measure of whether the country's on the right track or the wrong track, twice as many people today believe we're on the right track as when George Bush was president. So this idea that there's some national outcry and anger towards this government and this president, I think is misplaced.
Well, you're seeing it seems to me, in the Tea Party movement, but that's what the debate is about. Simon Rosenberg, Rick Tyler, thank you both.
Thanks for having me.
Government watchdog group is ripping the Obama administration's foreclosure